channel. So, to update everyone on your favorite kitty baby, Nieve is a fighter. And I didn't think he had actually got in a real fight this time. Okay, let me just tell you guys what happened. So, security of all people, which I find absolutely hilarious, came to me and told me about a fight that my cat and a possum got into. Now that security actually seen it is just like, it's funny to me. I find it hilarious, okay? So anyways, when the security tells me the story about the cat and the possum fighting, okay, he makes it sound like there wasn't a real fight and that they were like miles apart from each other, okay? And Nieve Tigre just gave some little warning paws, okay? And that was it. However, when that same when that same security was telling the other security guards about this fight, it sounded way different, okay? And that's when I knew Nieve Tigre had actually really got into a fight. And so, as the kitty mama that I am, now I gotta check him for wounds and all of that, okay? And the warning paws were not warning paws; those were actual paws he was throwing, okay? So, anyways, Nieve Tigre somehow in the ordeal got bit by the possum. So this was some real fighting going on, okay? And somehow I was asleep and missed it. I don't know how that happened, but somehow, yes. So he was protecting his kitty mama as a good uh, royal security guard, so assassin, right? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't even think the possum would actually try to fight it, because every time I would take Nieve Tigre for a walk around the same area that this fight went down between him and the possums would just run up the tree and look at me with their head tilted side, like, ma'am, can you get your cat? And that was about it. And they would just look at me like, get your cat. And Nieve Tigre never really like stalked him or ran after him or anything like that. He was just minding his own kitty business. So anyways, Nieve Tigre had a bite from whoever this possum was. I was thinking it must have been the mama possum or the granddaddy possum coming to avenge the other possums that he had run up the trees, okay? And, bit my kitty baby. And it was a pretty good size, and I guess it was like, it looked like it could go pretty deep. But, I'm old school, so you know what I did? I got my hydrogen peroxide and, drowned it, bubbling it up, and getting everything cleaned out of the bite wound. And then I put triple antibiotic ointment. To be on the safe, I had to take him to the vet and have him get a full physical. And because a possum is a wild animal, I definitely had to get him a rabies shot. Okay, he wasn't foaming at the mouth or anything, but there's a lot of people walking around more than normal right now. And it's just quite interesting. I don't know what's going on. Something's going on, but either way. So the vet knows, that I needed the whatever he was going to give him as some kind of antibiotic, which I would like to find something that is a probiotic, prebiotic, something that boosts his immune system. This vet was definitely not homeopathic vet whatsoever, okay? However, I went with whoever the first available because, you know, you want to get get your fur babies seen as soon as possible when they've been in a fight, because you don't know what they, could have punctured. I only seen the one bite, right, and that bite was on the kitty baby's bicep. Okay, it was on Nieve Tigre's bicep area for a cat, whatever that is called, because I don't know the anatomy of the cat like that. Okay, but anyways, so the vet proceeds to prescribe him an antibiotic, and I'm asking him about coupons and ways to get cheap prescriptions for animals, for cats specifically. And this vet ends up prescribing, knowing that I'm already looking for the discount, he prescribes Nieve Tigre a antibiotic that's literally $700. I was like, baby, we need to fix that. He has not corrected that yet, because there are other options that the pharmacy said are available. It's just you have to work the milligrams for my cat's weight. Okay. I don't know if he doesn't want to do the math, because the math ain't mathing. I don't know what's going on with it. But either way, $700 for a prescription. Whatever it takes to get my kitty baby healthy. But I'm just like, I might have to start a GoFundMe for that, just to get his prescription. And I'm working on attempting to get this vet to change it to one that it is for humans, but they said it is comparable to the ones for animals. He would just, like I said, have to do the math. But I think Nieve Tigre, who's looking over my shoulder right now, let me see if I can get him in there. Let's see. Where you at, kitty baby? You want to come into your video? Come on. Let's show him your bite wound. No, he don't want to. I don't know if he's embarrassed or he just don't want to get up. But either way, he did have the rabies shot, and from the rabies shot, he was a little bit lethargic. But they said he was going to be a little lethargic. They did say that. Oh, hi. I didn't even see that people was commenting. I'm not attempting to be rude or anything. So, anyways, yeah, I feel like he is recovering quite well. The vet was concerned with, even though I took what old school would be proper precautions, he was stating that the triple antibiotic ointment wouldn't necessarily kill everything that was completely deep within the wound. And what we would be concerned about, I guess, is that there could be infection that's caught deep within the wound, and and closes over. He said it could still become an infection or whatever, and so that's why he wanted him to get the antibiotics or whatever. So, like I stated, I would much rather have organic, homeopathic options, but we will be looking into all the options available, and hopefully we can talk this vet into changing what shouldn't have been prescribed at $700 in the first place. Right? He should have already known based off my, you know, visit, that I was actually asking for coupons and discount prescriptions, and then he goes and writes a $700 prescription. Like, that math ain't mathing for sure. I'm quite sure he did that on purpose, right? But anyways, if anybody could help out with his prescription, that would be great. I'm working on the vet to get him to drop it down to one that's 10 times cheaper per what the pharmacy said, you know, that they have, but it's for humans, and it could be used, because they're not for an animal or whatever. So I'm working on that. But in the meantime and in between time, if that is not an option, then definitely got to come up with $700 for my kitty baby, because we need to make sure that he's going to be all right, because that's my baby. So anyways, I hope everyone is doing well. Nieve Tigre, he's been acting normal, so, you know, I'm sure he does not have rabies. Okay, he hasn't been foaming at the mouth or anything, so I think he's doing all right. So anyways, I'm going to, I'm not going to, as they say, run it up, but if you need anything else from me, you can find it in the description. It is actually currently raining right now. It just started raining, so I got to end this live right now. So everybody have a great day. You know where to find everything else if you need anything else.